Hello, I'm Nat Coombs, and joining me today are Champions League winner Andrew Cole and international football writer Peter Staunton. We're going to start with our big game, Arsenal versus Napoli. So first up, we'll speak to our correspondent Julian Bennett, who's outside the Emirates. Julian, it seems that Gonzalo Higuain will be playing at the Emirates after all.
Yes, now he's already actually played here this season. He played in the Emirates Cup for Napoli, where he was booed by the Arsenal fans, which seemed a little strange considering the only reason he didn't sign for Arsenal is that they couldn't agree a fee with Real Madrid. Arsenal offered £23.1 million, yet backed out when they thought they could get Luis Suarez from Liverpool. Napoli came in, and so far he looks a superb signing. He scored in 4 of his first 5 games, including the winner at the San Siro against AC Milan, also against Borussia Dortmund in the Champions League. And it is sort of the rule of football, the law of football, if you will, that if you miss out on a player like Higuain, he comes back to play against you in a month or two, he is almost certain to score.
So Wenger's clearly appeased the fans with the signing of Özil, but do you think they've left themselves a little bit short at striker? They're rather over-reliant on Giroud, aren't they?
I think they are. I think that is the most obvious weakness in this Arsenal side, is that they only have one real front-line centre-forward, certainly only one who's fit, with Lucas Podolski and Theo Walcott also being injured at present. Mesut Özil is a fantastic player, a wonderful signing, and they clearly have players who can create chances from all over the pitch. Yet Giroud, who has been in superb form this season, if he is injured or out for any long period of time, you do have to worry.
Great, thanks Julian. Andrew, I think we're all thinking that. Where are the goals going to come from if Giroud goes down? Do you feel that they should have strengthened in that position as well as signing Özil?
Yeah, I do believe so. I think after you lose a player like Robin van Persie, and also very light up front now, obviously just Giroud up front. Bentner's got himself back involved after coming out of the wilderness. So I think bringing in someone like Higuain, would have been perfect for Arsenal. Well,
he's ended up at Napoli. They're riding high in the Serie A table. How are they going to approach this one tactically, do you think, Pete?
I think Rafa Benitez will be content with a draw. I mean, they beat the finalists, Borussia Dortmund, on the first match day. So I think if Napoli can win their home games and draw away, I think that'll be enough for Benitez to carry them through to the next stage. He'd be quite happy with that.
Arsenal looking good domestically as well, of course, Andrew. How far can they go in this season's Champions League, do you think?
That's a tough one. I think for any of the English clubs, this season is going to be very, very tough to win this tournament. I think it gets harder and harder. And now the Germans have set a benchmark. Bayern Munich are possibly the strongest team in the European Cup. So I think whoever beats a team like Bayern got a great chance of winning it.
And we were talking about how, and you touched on it right there, Andrew, how the different European leagues have redressed the balance a bit in terms of where the big stars are ending up. Higuain is the poster boy for that. Serie A will feel that they've got a real chance at having a champion this year.
Absolutely. There's 2 clubs there, I think, in Juve and in Napoli, who have every chance of going as far as the quarterfinals and then taking it from there. And I think when you look at the 2 managers involved, Antonio Conte and Rafa Benitez, I think Benitez is the man with the experience who can lead his side with plenty of quality in the ranks who can lead them further.
OK, gents, predictions time. I'm going to put you on the spot. I'll start with you, Pete. How do you see this one going?
I think it's going to be a 2-2 draw.
Goal fest. How about you, Andrew?
I'm going to sit on the fence, 1-1.
The boys have had their say, both of them going for draws. What do you think? Let us know. Use the hashtag Champions Club. Right, let's move things on and look at the star players ahead of today's game. So each match day, we ask our guests to pick out a player who they think will be today's standout performers. Pete, we'll start with you. Who have you gone with and why?
I've gone for Diego Costa, the Atletico Madrid striker. I think he's in a rich vein of form at the minute, really benefiting from the trust placed in him by Diego Simeone, and he can be a difference maker against Porto.
Huge goal in the derby, of course. International call-up on the cards, do you think?
Yeah, but for whom? Brazil and Spain now both linked with trying to get him into their respective squads ahead of the World Cup. And it's such a testament to his ability and his hard work this season and at the tail end of last season that he's in demand by 2 of the best countries in the world.
In demand as well by some of the best clubs in the world. Liverpool were interested in him in the summer, weren't they?
Yeah, Liverpool triggered his release clause around €20 million, but he was convinced by Simeone that his future lay at Atletico, and he's really repaid his faith this season.
Andrew, who have you gone for?
I've gone for Özil. I think Arsenal have pulled off a massive coup there. I think he's a super player, played extremely well at Real Madrid. And when fellow professionals are disappointed that the managers, well, the board, have sold a player, I think that speaks volumes for just how good a player he is.
Do you think the signing of Özil is going to open the floodgates now for Arsenal? At least a barrier's come down because he's genuinely world class. It'll be easy for them to attract players of a similar stature in the future.
I do genuinely believe so. I think now people look at Arsenal and I think players who looked at Arsenal before saying, I'll think about it. Now look at Ozil going there and saying to yourself, well, yes, Arsenal are prepared to pay big money now and are prepared to have a go at it. So I think that could open big doors for Arsenal.
It is worth pointing out, fellas, that Lionel Messi won't be playing. If he had been, would you still stick with your convictions of who you've gone for?
Parkhead, tough place to go to. I'll stay away from that one.
Well, I don't know what else you can say about Messi because he is definitely the best player in the world.
OK, well, to confirm then, Peter's gone with Diego Costa and a 2-2 draw. Andrew, for Mesut Ozil and a 1-1 draw. Do you agree with the guys? Perhaps Neymar will have his chance to shine without Messi in the team. You can vote for your top performers via the Goal website using player ratings or use the hashtag Champions Club. Right then, let's look at the rest of today's fixtures. Some cracking ties there. Pete, both of you have predicted the same result for Stour versus Chelsea. Explain your rationale there.
Well, I think Chelsea have had a really poor start against Basel. They need a result. Stoya, pretty good domestically, but that form, they're finding it harder and harder to translate into European football, especially in the Champions League. So I think Chelsea might just have enough for Stoya on the night.
Huge night for Mourinho, isn't it?
It's a massive night. Chelsea need to win. When you touched on Basel there, I'm not surprised Basel beat Chelsea. They went to Manchester United a couple of seasons ago. They're a very good team, very underrated. Chelsea need to win. So that's why I've gone for that result. It's going to be a tough game for them, but I can still see them coming out winning.
A lot of people talking about Mourinho yet to find his perfect 11, his perfect formation going back to Stamford Bridge. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think it's very, very tough, especially when you go back. You know, expectations are Chelsea's going to change the way they play football, and then you go there and he's left out, for me, a very special player, Mata. People looking at that as if to say, what? I thought he's come to change things. So, yeah, it's tough for him at the moment, but no doubts Mourinho, being Mourinho, he will turn things around.
Now, you don't agree on Dortmund versus Marseille. Pete, you think the honours are going to be even in this one?
I do. Marseille are no mugs, and they've started the season pretty well domestically. They also need to bounce back. They had a poor home defeat to Arsenal on match day 1. There's enough quality in that team, and I think there's enough defensive resolution just to hold Dortmund tight. Dortmund without their goalkeeper as well, without Jurgen Klopp. And they're a couple of blows down already before they even start. So Marseille will make it difficult for them. I think that Dortmund could be looking at a little slip up there.
You disagree with that, Andrew. You've gone for a Dortmund win. Do you think they're amongst the favourites for the Champions League?
They've got to be. They've got to be. After watching them last season, getting to the final, playing the way they did do, you know, you look at them and say to yourself, fair enough, they lost the first game to Napoli. This is the game they have to win, and I can see Dortmund winning this.
Now, we know Barcelona are clearly amongst the favourites, as they usually are. Didi Hamann on this show said that Celtic were his dark horse for the Champions League this season. They're going head-to-head. You're both going for a 2-1 win, but it's going to be, for Barca, but it's going to be tough going by the time.
It's going to be very tough. I'm not sure if Didi actually saw the draw before he mentioned Celtic being a dark horse, because it's a hell of a group they've got. I'm really looking forward to that game. The atmosphere at Celtic Park is unbelievable. They played there last season against Barcelona, winning that one. And no doubt Barca will be saying to himself, well, this won't happen this season.
It'll be a special night, won't it?
It will, and more than any other ground in Europe, I think that Parkhead really gives the 12th man. Celtic certainly have goals in them at home in the Champions League. Lionel Messi missing for Barcelona, they'll have to look elsewhere for inspiration. But if they've any aspirations to win in the Champions League, they need to be putting sides like Celtic away. So I'm going to say a close one, but an exciting one. OK,
thanks, guys. Be sure to challenge Pete on his predictions by using the hashtag Champions Club. And you can catch up on all of today's action on the Goal Live Match Centre. We'll be back tomorrow previewing the rest of this week's Champions League fixtures.